Some animals in zoos and aquariums have behaviors. Some are different of those in the wild. Others are the same. And get their food in a more different way. Played for it. Get close to it. But will these behaviors support the animals? In the Rocky Shore Oregon Zoo, someone's lurking in a pool. It's the largest land carnivore. There it is, a polar bear. A playful mammal who turned a carnivore to a playful bear. This exhibit has several pools for the polar bears to play in. A perfect room for two. After a long, playful time in a swim, the polar bear decides to get out. Near the house where polar bears rest, this one prefers by staying in the front door. Polar bears in the wild don't live in houses. The Rocky Shore exhibit may be a good place for polar bears, but they're not alone. Small, flightless. And they're all getting ready for one thing. These are humboldt penguins, and they're gathering for something they've been waiting all day. It's lunchtime. And all the penguins are gathering, jostling to be next to get fed. Wild penguins don't do that. They swim to get their own food. But captivity penguins get their food on land, and that is served by the zookeepers. Come on, eat. Give me that. The penguins who didn't get their food must wait their turn. It's also feeding time for the penguins' neighbors. The Inca turns are playfully of attracting a mate. And the gray gull has got his lunch. Like polar bears, the penguins have a swim over, so they can get a swim, and you can see them swimming. Woo! And for the polar bears too, there is a pool where you can see them swimming too. To the polar bears, it's back to pure fun. These polar bears seem so friendly, they could even get close to the edge of the exhibit so humans can get a closer look at them. And just bang the drum. And soon, the polar bears will get in the pool. Soon, the polar bear gets in the pool, and now she is doing it. And becomes an expert swimmer. I nicknamed him as the swimming bear. In the wild, polar bears can swim over 100 miles in the sea non-stop. But in captivity, they do it for shorter periods. The polar bears can hold their breath for about 2 minutes. Extra strong feet helps her paddle. And then the polar bear travels through the exhibit again. In the Great Northwest in Oregon Zoo, some animals can always have behaviors that are different and the same, happening to America's national icon. Oregon Zoo is a good place of free rescued bald eagles. Each one has a bad eye, and that's why they're in the zoo. They also have to change their behaviors of not flying too much, hunting too much, and migrating too much. They can still fly if they can. They have huge claws known as talons. Maybe soon the eagles can get released to the wild to get back to their old behavior. But right now, they just recover in Oregon Zoo. And get a taste over human visitors and not attacking them with their talons, but by looking at them in the eyes. In the predator exhibit in African lands in Oregon Zoo, home to the second largest cat on Earth. This is a lion. A female, for instance. One of about 4 lions in the zoo, and like the lions in Africa, they treat the lions as a pride, which is known as a group of lions. They like to sniff, play, and relax. And like the lions in the wild, these lions are also controlled by a male. Over 600 pounds, he's bigger than the females, and famous for his mane. And now, he relaxes with his small pride of females, known as lionesses. Lions are not the only large predators in this exhibit. 10 feet long and weighing in an impressive 90 pounds, this is the 3rd largest lizard on Earth. The crocodile monitor. Traveling throughout its park, climbing through boulders and climbing them down and swimming, and uses its forked tongue to pick up scent on Oregon Zoo's visitors. Even though that does seem a little odd. Hello. Unlike its wild cousins, it's not too aggressive, even though monotone lizards have a strong bite, making them one of the few venomous lizards. They can climb through boulders and swim. They also have a behavior that crocodile monotone lizards and few other monotones can do. Just watch. He is a tree climber. He launched himself on a branch zookeepers plant so he can climb trees. And there he goes again. But he's not as balanced of trees as rocks, so he has to be extra careful. Reptiles can always change their behaviors or keep them, but Oregon Zoo doesn't have enough to show it. To see that, we better travel to different zoos. A reptile house in Symbio in Australia lurks one of the deadliest animals in the continent. Australia has more species of venomous snakes than any continent, and Symbio is a good place to see the red-bellied black snake. Sometimes, snakes first sight of humans, they try to bite them, but in captivity, venomous snakes lose their aggression. So this snake is not a threat. Though they'll do shed their skin and flick their forked tongue to smell the visitors like the monotone lizard does, and slivers a lot. The snake is hung to the other side of the exhibit to do one thing. It hangs into a standing stick by the ceiling, like a tray, and the snake heads close to it. Slivers its 3-foot body and climbs. This snake is doing something that's uncommon in the wild, practicing on climbing a tree. And at the top, when it flicks its tongue, it flicks it at the ceiling to get a better smell. Only a few feet off the ground, he's king of the reptile house exhibit. And goes down again, but the startled way. Sometimes, behaviors on some of the most dangerous animals on Earth can prove they're friendly. Many dangerous monsters turn into friendly friends, but it's not just reptiles, including relatives of dinosaurs. It's 6 feet long, an Australian relative of the ostrich. They are one of the largest birds on Earth. Simio is a good place to see him, but even here, an emu doesn't get its rest. I think I'm gonna take a nap. But with so many visitors around, taking a nap is impossible. I just want to get some sleep. Seriously? Ugh, you've gotta be kidding me. Well, no rest for the weary. In the wild, emus are usually aggressive. But here is a totally different story. Soon, it'll be feeding time for the emus and their neighbor kangaroos. Unlike most zoos, these animals don't get fed by the zookeepers. The customers do. Entering Simio Wildlife Park with a couple of kangaroo feed to feed kangaroos and wallabies. A good way of making friends of them. Feeding is forbidden in the wild, but in captivity, kangaroos act like friendly friends. And something more impressive is coming. I was also here to feed the captivity kangaroos. And it was enjoyable. I seem to make a couple of friends. But it's not just the kangaroos that I'm feeding. Soon, I'll be feeding a different animal. We're also allowed to feed the emus. A bit picky, of course, but a lot of fun. Now, one of the world's aggressive birds has become a friendly friend. Hello there. From an aggressive bird to turning into friendly, emus are probably more friendly than we once thought they were. But still, it's quite cool making friends with Australia's biggest bird. This is Sydney. A good way to see before going into Sydney Sea Life Aquarium. Home to some of the coolest creatures of Australia. These signs belong to the fastest penguin on Earth. at a good speed of 20 miles an hour. They're Gentoo penguins. Like the emus, they're flightless. In water, these two Gentoo penguins are playing fight in the water. While the others just swim around, see its customers. While these two penguins are busy trying to compete in the water. Penguins spend most of their lives in water, but in captivity, they stay in water at shorter periods. You're chasing me. Now in the water, Gentoo penguins are doing behaviors unlike those in the wild, but some the same as the wild. Like climbing cliff-like things to see how they can do if they get released in the wild. Excuse me. Back off. This is my turf. Come on, turf doesn't exist in captivity. I'll just go over there, get close to the customers. Get back here. Back. Hey. Hey. Okay. I'm just gonna get down to this cliff so I won't slip. Wait, I might slip, but I make sure I won't. I'm going down too. I'll get close to the customers just to say hello. Hello. And bye-bye. And get back here. Can we please be friends? You know what? I'm being friends with the customers. Good boy. I'm going for a swim. Animals always have behaviors that are different from those in the wild or the same, and it benefits them and gives the animals a good life. And being a life like humans in Zoo Planet.